Hey, welcome to this third and final installment of our Tattooing and NFT series. If you have not yet watched the first two episodes, I would definitely stop this one and do that first. I'll link to both of those episodes in the video description below. I want to start by thanking my guests, Nick Baxter, Jesse Smith, Franklin Atra, and Jason So for sharing their experience in the NFT space. I really put this series together for my own benefit because I don't know a lot about the technology or how it might be used. So I reached out to these guys because they had more experience than me, and I appreciate them taking the time to share their knowledge. In this final episode, we talk a little bit about how to actually buy an NFT. We talk a little bit how to launch an NFT, the different marketplaces or platforms that you can launch NFTs on, the different types of blockchain technologies that the NFTs can be stored on. And then finally, we'll dive a little bit into the specifics on each of these guys' NFT projects. And I've also linked to those below. As of the time of this filming, Nick's project is already dropped, and you can find it at OpenSea. It is called Perception of Being. Jesse has not yet dropped as of now. He may be if you're watching this in the future, and his is on crypto.com. And then as far as I know at this point, the best way to find out about Frank's Battle Bunnies NFT is through his Discord channel. You can search Battle Bunnies. I'll link to all of that stuff below if you want to explore their actual projects, their drops, and learn more about them. So let's go ahead and dive into this final episode. I hope you enjoy it.
Yeah, so there's like Looks Rare, Rareable, a bunch of others. You know, there's ones built on Solana, like you said. There's ones built on Tezos. It's just like McDonald's versus Burger King. It's like Ethereum versus Solana. It's just like competing blockchains trying to see like who can do it better or cheaper, you know, or just you know, claim market share by offering this feature or that feature. But some of them are curated, some of them are application based, some of them are completely free and open. So you got to really sift through some you know, fluff or some scams. You know, it's a very scammy place, unfortunately, because it's such new technology. It's basically the Wild West right now. So it is just ripe with like scams and BS. So you have to do, you know, like you have to do your homework. Like it kind of reminds me of tattooing. Like you got to do your homework and not get screwed by a crappy tattoo artist. You know, like look through portfolios, learn how the tattoo world works, learn how to book with people, kind of like how to approach a tattooer. It's the same thing with NFTs right now.
Yeah, so let me talk about the different marketplaces so I can really explain, you know, what the pros and cons of each are. I'm not gonna go through every single marketplace, but I can talk about like the different kinds. So as we all know, OpenSea is the largest marketplace for NFT arts. And OpenSea, you can kind of think of it as the marketplace where anyone and everyone can upload any NFT and sell any NFTs to anyone, essentially. So you do not have to be verified as an artist. You do not have to be, you know, validated via some, you know, check or filter, essentially. Anyone can post anything and sell to anyone. And the reason why they're really big is because they have one of the lowest, if not the lowest, percentage off the fees. They take off commission. So OpenSea is a really big one that anyone can get in easily. There are other platforms that are more curated and requires additional filters. A common one is such as like Foundation.app, where they require you to like, be an artist in order to post, you know, assets onto their sites. So most of them are like that. And because of those, the kind of users you get are people who care more about the art in the collection rather than going on OpenSea and just purchasing like any piece of art that they see, because they understand that they've been more vetted on these additional platforms. A new platform that's been active since I believe December is crypto.com. They've launched their NFT drop program, in which not only they vet and validate the artists that come on board to make sure the quality of art you get is the best that they can find, but they also implement a drop calendar feature into the marketplace, which I think is really quite ingenious. So it not only combines the idea of an NFT marketplace, but also combines the calendar aspects such as rarity.tools.
You launched on OpenSea. Did you find, I guess that the the risk with that is that it's easy to kind of get buried in a sea of other, of other drops that are happening at the same time. What made you decide to do that rather than go through one of the application-based, like curated platforms like Rarible?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't want to have to like hope I get chosen by some curator, who knows what their criteria is. I mean, I just wanted to be able to go up and do it myself, like the DIY kind of mentality. So that's what OpenSea enables. But you're right, it is the biggest one, and it's much more susceptible to being drowned out or, not being noticed. But I mean, I'm not relying on them to get me noticed. I'm just hoping that fans of my art or people who appreciate what I'm doing or who are into NFTs can hop on board and get into it and, just kind of go from there.
We're actually going to be dropping on crypto.com. Which is a big deal, really big deal. I mean, I don't know if you watched the Super Bowl yesterday, but they were basically sponsoring the freaking Super Bowl. Right. Yeah. Like, I think the way that we ended up doing it is I was like, hey, Jason, what do you think about crypto.com? And Jason did a little research and he was like, maybe this could work. And then he tossed over an artist named Ugonzo to me. And he was like, hey, reach out to this guy, Ugonzo. He made $8 million off his NFT in 1 hour. And I was like, okay, I'll hit him up. And I didn't expect anything. I hit him up and he was a fan of me. And he was hey man, any help you need, let me know. And then we get into a Twitter space with them. We're hanging out with Carol Baskins from Tiger King.
Oh, really?
Super interesting. And then after that, we ended up, Jason was like reaching out to who'd you reach out to, Jason?
Valentina, she's an agent at crypto.com.
Okay. Yeah, so he reached out to Valentina, and then we had a meeting with her the other day, and it was just like, yes, we love what you got going on. Let's do it.
What do you know about the cryptos, that the platforms and the types of currencies that the NFTs are built on? A lot of them are built on the Ethereum platform, but then there are others like Solana or these others that are kind of competitors.
Solana and Polygon.
Yeah,
I've heard of Cardano's actually in that space too, but none of those are as big. Polygon is actually growing, and so is Solana, but Ethereum is right now the main network for it. And we're actually launching on Ethereum, where a lot of people are preferring to do it onto Poly or Solana, but we're going to do it on Ethereum because we realize, look, if you look at the price of the ETH over the last few years and all that, it's shot up astronomically, right? And it's probably going to do that again. I mean, right now there's a lull just because of the market cycles and all of that, but it is going to shoot up again. And eventually, I believe, or at least what we talked about and what my tech guys have talked about is that eventually a lot of people are going to be priced out of the Ethereum market, which is really then where Solana and Poly and all of those are going to boost up because it's going to be so hard to touch the ETH network. Which is, I think, also why we decided, look, let's just do it now. Get in there now so that we're already built into that blockchain. They're also working with, I believe it's ERC1120 is the token. So that way it's designed that it can run on other blockchains as well, and not just Ethereum, where I think it was like the 721 or something like that. I could probably get the numbers wrong. But would only be on ETH, right? So that was one thing that they're working with the contract, which kind of separates this project from others that have been done on the chain as well. So yeah, those are different ones that are working, but we are going to. This is an Ethereum project essentially.
The way a lot of these are structured is where the artist or the creator can kind of continue to get paid through future sales. So if I were to buy one of your NFTs and then it were to increase in value and I were to sell it, months down the road, that you would participate in that profit. Is that the way that it's kind of by default structured, or do you have to build that in?
That's an option that you can choose to build in, and pretty much it's a no-brainer for any creator. Why would you pass up on residual royalties? And that's actually another point worth making about NFTs, of why they are so revolutionary and amazing for content creators and artists, because in the past, you as an artist or a creator usually only profit once, right? So I make a painting, I sell it to the buyer, If they turn around and don't want that painting anymore and sell it, I don't automatically get a programmable, provable royalty that's coded into the very nature of the thing itself and can't be taken away. So I just have to, take that one, that one sale, and that's all I get. And if that painting shoots up to $1 million in value because like my name blows up and then someone sells it for $1 million, I get literally nothing off of that, right? However, in NFTs, it's programmed into the very computer code of the NFT that every time it sells, it kicks back a portion straight into my Ethereum wallet. And so that's a game changer for any kind of content creator or artist. It's much more democratizing and towards our work, I
mean, when I first started fucking with NFTs, it was like, you had to do, I was like, they were like, you need to set up a MetaMask. And I'm like, what the fuck is a MetaMask? And all this, it was weird. I was just like, and then they're asking you for all this verification. And I mean, I think there was one on Coinbase. I actually had to have a photo of my ID, and then I had to take a photo of myself and I like scan my face. And I was just like, whoa, what the hell? Am I on the fucking dark web? Like, what the fuck's going on over here?
It seems like that's kind of key to regular folks getting more comfortable and more involved. I've always felt like whenever I'm on a platform and they say, oh, you have to leave this platform and go to another platform and bring this piece back to create the puzzle, it always, like, the uncertainty, I think, of all of the, downloading a new app or getting used to to Discord. A lot of people aren't familiar with Discord, and that's where a lot of the communication and advertising and stuff like that for this is happening. And the more it can be streamlined and simplified and done in one place, I think the easier it is for people to wrap their minds around it and to trust it.
I was just gonna say, the last thing you want to do is lead your fan base into a fucking lion's den of scammers. You know what I mean?
If you were going to mint your own kind of NFT or buy an NFT, can you run through any of the moving parts that we haven't already hit, like a wallet, what a wallet is, how you use it? Do you get it at the same place do you get a wallet at OpenSea, or is that an entirely different process?
Yeah, so in order to do anything with crypto or NFT, you do need your own, digital crypto wallet. And those are third-party provided. So you don't do it through OpenSea. You have to go through a digital wallet company. There's like tons of competing brands. I think the biggest one, the most widespread used one, is MetaMask. And that plugs into whatever web browser you're using. So it's integrated into your web browser, whether you're using Mozilla or Safari or anything. It plugs right into your web browser. So when you visit a Web3 site like OpenSea that deals with crypto, your MetaMask wallet already, you just have to pair it with the website. So there's usually like a button to press, like, pair my wallet with this website, and now it's connected to that website. So it's going to just take crypto into and out of your wallet directly from that website, from OpenSea. And then you can disconnect it when you're done. So it's no longer, connected, like vulnerable to someone like hacking in through OpenSea to get to your wallet.
Right. Okay. Yeah, that's one of the things with there being multiple steps and different kind of providers for each kind of piece of it. That seems to me one of the big hurdles for people who are intimidated by it. It seems to me that if you could land in one place, like crypto.com, and like set up your wallet and fund it and shop and buy an NFT and it's stored right there and everything is kind of done in one place, that just seems like it makes more sense to me, but I guess that's just not the way it's going to work.
Well, not yet. There are providers working on integrating all of it. There's even a platform working on being able to buy NFTs with dollars on the user end, and the website will take your dollars, convert it to crypto, and spit out the NFT back to you. So they're definitely trying to streamline it for sure. Some of these bigger companies like Coinbase is coming out with their own marketplace. And I think Visa or MasterCard is like trying to get involved in it too, and do that whole payment system that I just described, where you just use your Visa card and it'll do the contracting and the converting to crypto on its end. You don't have to do it on the user end. But yeah, there's like 4 or 5 like distinct steps you have to go through before you could even buy an NFT. So yeah, there's a barrier to entry for sure. And it's because this technology is literally like a decade or so old, and it's so complex and new that, like, I mean, a decade could be a long time for some things, but it's not really a long time for this brand new type of like blockchain tech. It's like we're in the dial-up phone line stage of blockchain back when the internet first came out. Its first decade, you had to do this slow ass phone dial-in thing, you know, and so that's the stage like blockchain and NFTs are in right now.
So in your drop, there are going to be how many unique pieces? 5,000? Is that what you said?
5,000. 5,000. When I say hand-drawn unique pieces, does not mean I am drawing all 5,000 of them. The project has over 400 unique traits, and I hand drew and painted and rendered all 400.
Oh wow! And for people who don't get the generative part of it, there are, like you're saying, there are traits, there are features that can be that the generative part is the computer or whatever whatever processes it switches these individual kind of pieces out in a way where there's a different level of like scarcity or rarity or whatever. And so maybe there's, you know, maybe there's a bunny that has, maybe there's a pair of glasses that are only generated in one of the 5,000, and another might be in 300 of the 5,000.
Right, exactly. Yeah, it's just broken down into percentages, which said, well, that's how it's normally done. It's set as percentages, right? So like you said, exactly, it could be, there's this one pair of glasses and it only shows up 0.05% of the time, where you have another set of glasses that may show up 22% of the time, you know, and then there's certain traits that you'll see 75% of the time. So that means that 75% of all of them will have this particular trait. Like it's all of that, and then it comes down to finding some of the rarest ones, which I made that even more difficult in the way I set up all the rarities for this project as well. So that was another thing that drove the tech team crazy, but they pulled it off, man. They made it work, and it was so I this particular project I kind of created it all based on the premise of like an RPG, right? So almost like World of Warcraft or Diablo or any of those games where you could get your character and you level them up over time, or you go and you find these items and then later on you find, so all the items were broken down from like common, uncommon, rare, epic, legendary, and mythic. So that's how we broke these things. And then within those, like there's certain legendaries that are more rare or, you know, than others. So figuring out all the computation and percentages, to break it all down, I know they were at it for weeks doing all of this. So but it's cool. It's unique and it's interesting and different than a lot of the other projects out there. So I'm excited about that.
No, it's a series of 148.
148 based on how many physical paintings?
24 physical paintings. So there's different levels of rarity. Some are, there's 10 different, you know, there's a series of 10. For other ones, there's only one. So it's in that range. And I created a new separate kind of like business name or project name for this because it's kind of its own NFT thing called BlockxHouse. So that's block and then the letter X and then the word house. Okay. So you could also search for that on Instagram or on Discord.
Did you build any kind of future or potential value into your NFTs? Are they simply the digital version of the artwork, or do they give any like privileges or access or, you know, tattoo discounts or any of those types of things?
Yeah. So they all. There's 4 different like price tiers for this series I put out, and they all, according to their price tier and level of rarity, have different real world benefits. Like the most expensive ones you can bid on, you'll get the actual real life paintings, which are behind me, and you'll get a free tattoo. Well, free. I mean, you paid for the NFT, so you get a tattoo session. You get flown to me. You know, me and my business partner will pay for your flight, your hotel lodging. You know, the bidding starts at a price point that makes it possible for us to do all that, of course. But even the least expensive ones have certain benefits, like we can airdrop you just free stuff down the line. Like we'll have your wallet address since you bought it. So we can just look that up and send you other free artwork that I make or you know, like other projects. And then we'll also be introducing a burn mechanism, which is how you can redeem your NFT, burn it. So like erase it from the blockchain. It no longer exists, but in return for a physical item like a print that's yet to be released. So like I'll announce like a super limited print release, and the only way to get it is you have to burn your NFT. So that works twofold. That creates future value for the people who choose not to burn their NFT, because the one they're holding just got more rare because other people have gotten rid of theirs, you know? So an addition of, let's say 100, if half the people burn theirs in exchange for a print, now there's only 50, and that's more rare and hence more valuable, right?
Yeah, I hadn't heard of anyone doing that. I haven't even heard the term burning the NFT. That's really interesting.
Yeah, so they basically like transfer it back to our wallet, and we literally delete it. So it no longer exists. So the remaining ones are made more rare and thus more valuable. You know, in theory. So yeah, we built in a lot of cool funds and stuff like that, and you know, just trying to engage with people in different ways. Basically, just get my art in front of different people and see what happens.
So that's important too. I think it's constantly producing, and what other utilities you're going to. What key is your NFT going to, like, what door is your NFT key going to unlock for you in the future? And so that to me is that is what's so important about the NFT space, really. And I think that's what I don't think a lot of people know too. They just want to put their digital art up there and sell it. But what brings it value? What makes it worth something? Like what you were talking about, like mixed thing, where you burn it, you get this item, now there's less of those. That helps bring some kind of value to it. So you need to bring value to your project. Otherwise, you're just taking people's money.
So how, like, I've not done one of these myself, so I don't have any direct experience. How malleable are these, like the contract, the NFT kind of contract? Can you really write into it or program into it whatever you want, or whenever you're going through OpenSea, is it just a list of kind of drop down things that you're able to choose?
Yeah, so if you're using the OpenSea platform, they have it already. I mean, you're working within their framework, so they have the preset choices, and that's what you can do. If you want to pay for your own Web3 developer, they can write your code however you want it written, and you can host it and sell it through your own website. And, you know, any way you want with any features you want. But if you're relying on a public platform like OpenSea, it's kind of like Instagram. Like Instagram limits you to the size your photo can be, to the dimensions it can be. And, you know, they have a preset number of filters you can use, you know, so it's the same thing. You kind of just choose their presets when you use a public kind of free platform like OpenSea.
So one of the utilities that we're going to essentially be offering is that people who own like a Battle Bunny or own one of these NFTs are kind of there's like a DAO system, which is almost like a voting system, where people will have the ability to vote and kind of and be a part of the story of the animation, where the animation goes, where the story goes, where the project goes, essentially, in a lot of aspects. So we do want to move into the whole gaming area, and we already started building in the metaverse. So that's something that we haven't told everybody yet, but we started modeling the bunny in 3D. So, and some of the traits in 3D, and they've been doing animation and test runs and all of that just to check. And we've been in VR a lot, studying like in the Oculus, going around looking at different worlds, because they're starting now to build the Battle Bunnies world, so that people will be able to essentially use their NFT as like to unlock an avatar within the Battle Bunnies universe. So that's just one of the utilities.
The universe that's being built, people will experience it like through an Oculus, or will be experienced on a laptop, or through, or how? Through
your Oculus. You'll be able to walk around in there, and as we move further, certain levels will be able to use their NFT to unlock their Battle Bunny avatar within the 3D space.
Okay.
So so essentially, like, you know how they have avatars and stuff in there, so you would be able to be your own Battle Bunny in there. And a lot of this is going to tie into the animated series, because for each chapter we're building an animation to tell the story. And so we're breaking it up into volumes and chapters.
What is a trusted source for you to learn about, you know, what's happening in the world of blockchain technology? Do you just kind of, or is there a trusted source that you use? Or?
Yeah, about a year or two ago, maybe like 2 or more years ago now, I signed up for all the weekly and daily newsletters from CoinDesk, which is basically just like the Wall Street Journal of crypto. And they have lots of staff writers who cover every angle of the cryptoverse and the metaverse. And so your inbox, just every single day, you're getting all these articles and newsletters that they just send out to their subscribers.
Okay.
And it's pretty good journalism. You know, they definitely make a point to try to be as unbiased as they can be. And so I've learned a lot through that. And then I just kind of take that and go search out other internet articles from other sources and kind of try to cross-reference and be like, okay, like, is this thing they're saying like legit? Or, you know, same thing you would do with just your general like daily news, you know.
Thanks so much for sticking it out through this series. I hope you got something out of it. I know that I did. I didn't mention earlier whenever I said if you haven't seen the first 2 episodes to click the link below to watch those first. Even if you have seen those on YouTube, click the links below and it'll send you to firesidetattoo.com where we are storing the episodes on our actual website. And it's super cool. Tattoo Now and TSM Pro are helping us to kind of categorize our content so it's a little bit easier to navigate and actually embed our videos on our website. It'll have little clips kind of chunked out about specific topics that are covered within each episode. And then there's like a full video transcription and things like that if you just would rather read it than watch, which I don't know why you would do that. It's better to watch. But anyways, it's super cool. Check those out and let us know what you think about that. My goal, or our goal, is to do this with our entire content library, to actually store it on our website and have little nuggets of information and maybe little blog posts, writings that are related to each piece of content, so we can continue to expand on some of the subjects that we've covered. But most importantly, it is to categorize and catalog our content in a way where you can just tackle a topic, maybe beginning tattooing or something like that, or NFTs or technology, and just go right down that rabbit hole so that you end up going into similar, seeing similar content, I guess, based on the path that you choose. So I'm really excited about that coming to life. Check that out at the link below and you can get an idea of what it will look like. Thank you guys as always for supporting what we do. If you haven't already, signed up for our mailing list, stay up to date with where we're going, what we're doing, and when new videos are coming out. We'll see you next time.